Welcome to Off the Cuff Friday edition. Today is Double Decker Delora Day. So why do we call it that? That's because the chat named it that. It's because tonight we have Fab 4 on Rumble at 6 p.m. Eastern. So you don't want to miss that. So it's double. You get me double. If you love me, you're happy. If you don't like me, I just ruined your day. So whatever floats your boat out there. So this is an exciting time for us. Many reasons, but just so you know, our national gathering tickets are now available to the public. We sent out to our mailing list. They cobbled up a lot of them, but there's still some left. And so it's in Columbia, Missouri, and it's on July 4th and 5th, celebrating God and country. Now, what's going to be interesting about this one is we have prayer. We only had it one other time we did this, but Friday there'll be prayer, right on July 4th from 7 to 9 p.m. Then at 9:30, we have a private fireworks show. Yep, for the gathering. That's what we're doing. The next day, we come back, doors open at 12:30. It begins, the gathering begins at 1 o'clock till 5, 6, depending on people hugging and taking pictures and all praying and all that stuff. So that's about what it will be. It's going to be an amazing time. Tickets are now available. Like I said, they're posting it in the chat. I'm sure they'll post it in comments as well. But you can go to thegatheringmovement.org, and right up on top, it'll say gathering tickets. You just click that, or it'll say the national gathering. I forget what's up there. Click that. It'll bring you right to the site, and you can get what you need for tickets. So just make sure you're there. Now, for the people in the chat, I'm getting emails. Look, guys, we're a few months out. So this is what we're going to do. Everyone that's in the chat, as we get closer, say a month out, 3 weeks out, what we'll do is they'll give you an email that you email to, and we will make sure that you have a seat in our section up near the front. That will be for the chat people. Now, listen, if all of a sudden I get an email and it goes, I'm a chatter, my name is Joe Smith, blah, blah. And I know who you are. I look at you all the time. So just, these are for people that really, we did it, and it's national. It's in the middle of the country so that everybody can come. Okay. And everyone that's in the chat, these people have gotten to know each other over the last few years. And I think it's really important. They're going to actually meet. They'll have their chat name and their real name. And so I'm very, very excited. Awesome. All right. So let's do this. This tea. All right. Let me tell you what happened. I always got a story. I'm sorry. It's me. There's always a story. This wasn't the tea I was supposed to wear, although I love it. And it's, and I love it and I wear it a lot. Trust the Lord with all your heart. It's got watercolor. I mean, if you saw this up close and personal, it's just stunning. Okay. It comes in V-necks and long sleeve and hoodies and all kinds of things. But this is the one I was supposed to wear. So let me tell you what's going on. This is the tee I was supposed to wear. Okay, there it is. This is Trust in the Lord Watercolor Wings unisex tie-dye tee. Now, I was supposed to wear that. It is drop dead gorgeous. Okay, here's the problem. I don't know where I put it. Jenna brought it over here, and I said, Jenna, where I put the tee? She said, "Oh, wear the black one. I'll come over. We'll look." So thanks. You love my new glasses. Anyway, go get that one. Okay, go get the other one. The one I showed you. Go to Dolores Closet, joincountry.com, Dolores Closet, or look for Trust in the Lord with all your heart tie-dye tee. You'll get it. You'll find it. Anyway, and then there's the bracelet. I'm sorry, I'm taking so much time, but it's hysterical. I spent the morning looking for that thing. Gorgeous tea. Oh, where it went. This is the connector. Look at that with little crosses on it. These are all crystals, like amethysts and little crystal diamonds. Then this matches. Look at that. Looky. I love this. The reason I have them off is because you can't see as good. And then last but not least, these all match. Look, they match everything. You know, they're just beautiful. Then look at this. God's got this. This is one of our new tumblers. 20-ounce, skinny, fits in the holders, stainless steel. Look, comes in many different color combinations. Now look, this we have a design in premium copper, iridescent metal tumbler. This is done by hand, guys. This is exclusive. This is got something to it. This isn't like something you're going to go buy in Target. It really is. It's just absolutely beautiful. So there's that. So this is what she said. Saturday Steals discount on the website. It's on now, going on now. You get 10% off your entire order at midnight, ends tomorrow night at midnight. Use the code Saturday. Applies to items already on clearance. And remember, always free U.S. shipping. Okay? Now, let's just get going on this. This is a big topic. This is a topic that I'm very familiar with. Now, I had some people, you know, I've got things that I know. And I had some people email me and say, well, if you know this stuff, you know, why don't you just reveal it? Number one, you don't know that I already have. No one knows that. Nor am I saying I did. Or am I saying I didn't? But let me tell you what you have to understand about all of us. When we reveal things, and I reveal things that are truth, they're verified. A lot of this stuff, a lot of people don't know, and some of the things people do know. But it's very important to me that first and foremost, my family's safe. I'm not going to reveal things that could put anybody in harm's way. Whether it's me, my husband, family, other people that I know. I'm not going to reveal something if they don't. This is it. We're in a critical time right now, and so people are so flippant because they want to know. Well, you have to understand everything that is said, or I'm accountable for. So you have to understand we're real people. If you don't know me personally, I'm just or even talk to me. I've talked to a lot of people lately, but on the other side of this, what you're looking at is a human being and a real person. So don't get angry at me if I say, look, I know of this. I've been there. This is what I've been exposed to, and then don't give you this name, that name, where it was, what was the company, because that's not where I'm living right now. Okay. First and foremost, that is not my calling. My calling is to serve God and build his kingdom. That's my calling. Truth does that. He is truth. And truth does that. But I'm not the person that's going to go out there and just lay it all out on the line. If God ever tells me to do that, I will. But that's not my calling. Okay. I hope I've made that clear. That was very important. And yeah, Renee just said, unfortunately, people often talk about what they don't really know. And that's it. And what is interesting to me, and I agree, Renee, is that people that really know usually don't talk, at least publicly. Okay, so let's get this started. There is many, I have many situations as they come up as I'm speaking. I will, if I have a personal situation with that I can reveal, I will. If not, then I'm going to give you some every person could find. I happen to be a really good researcher, and I do follow breadcrumbs, and I probably get some things that a lot of people wouldn't. So that's what I do. So let's just open this up, okay? For many people, their introduction to the world of espionage, or the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, is through movies and shows. If I'm going to be candid, I love action-packed thriller espionage. I love that. I love that. Many people, in fact, I had someone the other day who was an attorney say to me, "You probably should have been a trial attorney," something like that. And a lot of people say that to me because of what I say and how I reveal it. So what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you a lot of foundation in what's going on now, and a lot of videos. So what is being spoken by people who been there, done that. You're not hearing it from me, although you will, but you're hearing it from a lot of different people. Now, the CIA's unholy alliance, I call it, with Hollywood is no secret. If you are watching me, if you watch a lot of other people, you know that already, okay? There are quotes on the CIA website about how they've been involved with films, and even a few blockbusters have won Oscars. There's been a lot of articles written, a lot of YouTube's done, a lot of Rumble chats, a lot of everything about the CIA and Hollywood connection. Now, what a lot of people probably don't realize is before 1965, a lot of this was not on the air. What happened was, in 1965, the James Bond film Thunderball came out. At the end of the movie, James Bond 007 and his lady friend, he always had one, are rescued from the ocean with the help of a CIA proprietary B-17 aircraft using a device called Skyhook. And it's incredible. But the CIA officers even arranged for the plane, that was a CIA plane, and crew to take part in the filming. Now, they couldn't do that today. They can do that then. You couldn't go anywhere to check it out. It was either in a book or it wasn't. It was in newspaper. We were very limited. We're not limited today. Today, there's just too much awareness. Back then, there was not. So as a thanks, apparently, those agency seniors were given the red carpet treatment at the film's DC premiere of Thunderball. Okay, when Ian Fleming created the character of James Bond, he also made a buddy of James Bond, who was a CIA officer, Felix Leiter. And that he appeared in Ian Fleming's first novel, Casino Royale, in 1953. Now, Bond's friend was named, now get this, after Ian Fleming, the author of the books they turned into movies, close personal friends, Thomas and Marion Leiter. Fleming had no way of knowing that years later, the land that the Leiter family owned in Virginia would be purchased by the U.S. government / CIA, and that its final occupant would be none other than Felix Leiter's real world employer, the Central Intelligence Agency. I'm going to go into more about that later. Key sectors controlled by the DC swamp. Okay, we know this. Defense, finance, CIA intelligence, DOJ intelligence. Did you know that the Department of Justice has its own intelligence arm? Congress, Silicon Valley, and obviously the cultural industry, which was at the beginning regarded more as an experiment for the CIA, Hollywood. And now look what it has become. It's interesting that Ben Affleck, who is known to have, with Leonardo DiCaprio, wrote Good Will Hunting and starred in it. And it was this whole thing that, what an incredible thing. These two college boys wrote this book and it turned into a blockbuster. That isn't true. That isn't true. But why believe me? Let's listen to it right out of Ben Affleck's own mouth. Not about that film, but about the CIA.
Of Argo is about storytelling and how powerful it is, from political theater to the way we kind of communicate to our children, to the way that we inspire people, and it's interesting that Hollywood and the clandestine services are both spend most of their time convincing people that something that's not true is in fact true.
You don't have a better bad idea than this?
This is the best bad idea we have, sir.
This is from Argo.
The United States government has just sanctioned your science fiction movie.
Thank you, sir. Hollywood sort of develops this way of telling stories and oftentimes uses that and philanthropic causes or political causes, which people may or may not think are good. But, there are really positive offshoots. Mostly, I think it's, self-serving and kind of designed to be that way. But I think some good things also do happen. This is an exceptional example of something good happening. But yeah, it's possible.
Are there many actors in Hollywood who also moonlight as agents, do you think?
I think there are probably quite a few, yes. I think probably Hollywood is full of CIA agents, and we just don't know it. And I wouldn't be surprised at all to discover that, this was extremely common.
Are you a CIA?
I am, yes. And now you've blown my cover, so there goes my career. I hope the directing thing better work out.
Yeah. Notice how he makes a joke about it. Hollywood is full of CIA agents. Newsflash. The church as well. Ministries. A lot of people you see speaking about God on channels. CIA agents. It is in 1996, the CIA hired one of its veteran officers, Chase Brandon, to work directly with Hollywood studios and production companies to upgrade its image. Okay, the CIA didn't have a very good image, but there's a quote from The Guardian, okay, the online newspaper, and this is what it says. Ever since its inception in 1947, the CIA has been covertly working with Hollywood. But it wasn't until the mid-1990s that the agency formally hired an entertainment industry liaison and began openly courting favorable entertainment in films and television. During the Clinton presidency, the CIA took its Hollywood strategy to a new level, trying to make more control of its own myth-making. In 1996, the CIA hired one of its veteran clandestine officers, Chase Brandon, to work directly with Hollywood studios and production companies to upgrade its image. We've always, and this is a quote, we've always been portrayed erroneously as evil and Machiavellian, Brandon told The Guardian. It took us a long time to support projects that portray us in the light we wish to be seen in. The CIA, as we know, well, you might not know, you might not realize that behind what is had for media control is run through the CIA first. In 2023, RFK Jr. was a presidential candidate. The clip I'm just going to show you. He confirms that the CIA controls the mainstream media. Obviously, we knew it was through Operation Mockingbird. A CIA whistleblower also confirmed it, as well as Operation Paperclip, as well as MK Ultra. Hollywood is controlled by the CIA.
about Mockingbird around 1975 or 76 in Rolling Stone. And at that point, I think there were some 400 editors, journalists, from all the largest publications. The New York Times had been compromised. The Washington Post was basically.
What do you mean by compromised for people who?
Well, they were functioning. The high-level people at those journals were working for the agency or had signed secrecy agreements with those agencies, with the CIA. So today, today that's going on. After 75, when it all came out, during the Church Committee hearings, the CIA promised that it would no longer compromise American journalists. It continued the program to compromise journalists all over the world. And today, the CIA is the biggest funder of journalism in the world.
And how about present day?
They fund it through USAID.
Did you get that last line? Isn't that interesting? USAID raises its ugly head once again. Now, I'm going to go back to things that I've said, and I've said it over and over and over again. When people, when I ask a question or they email me, they get upset because they think they know better. And how could President Trump do this? How could he say that? What's he doing here? What's he doing there? If I didn't tell you, probably most of you would not realize that USAID is how mainstream media gets funded around the world, and what we put out in all the networks around the world are funded by USAID. I know President Trump knows that, but how many of us really knew that? I didn't know that. USAID is not supposed to be for that. But because the CIA is involved, what it does is it's kind of a blanket central intelligence agency. So it funds and uses different funds in different areas. This is really why President Trump and Doge are uncovering what is happening. This is the basis. It's the foundation. It's the mother lode getting to the CIA and Department of Justice, which has an intelligence agent, which it taps into CIA. CIA said, arrest Trump. You got to do that. This is what is going on, guys. That's why when people they say he doesn't know what he's doing, or he's this or he's that, it drives me crazy, because when you've got someone like RFK who knows the inside from being inside, and he has POTUS's ear, to think he doesn't know this stuff is shocking to me. Now, what's interesting is, why did this congressman, this thing I'm going to play for you now, say this after they believed differently for so long? You're going to understand in a second when I get to it. Why did this judge make this decision? Why did the congressman say, and there's one out there right now that was always behind everything the conservatives did in Congress, and now he's not behind it suddenly? Why is a Democrat right now, Schumer, all of a sudden voting for the what do you call that? I can't think of it. My head's full of so much stuff. They're voting on the bill, the debt, okay? The debt ceiling, that whole thing. Why is Schumer now voting with Republicans? Look, there's reasons why this happens. There's reasons why suddenly a judge will say to President Trump, a Supreme Court justice, oh yeah, we're with you. And then the next day he votes different. Why? Here's why.
I always felt that every house should have its own secret panel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. You lift this up.
Mm-hmm. This is a trap door. Opens up and looks into the cave, or what time is called the Wu Grotto.
Boy.
They're running blackmail operations where they're getting very well-known government and private industry elite people in compromising positions at the Playboy Mansion, on Epstein's plane, on Orgy Island, and they're photographing them. And after that, it's like Congressman so-and-so or CEO so-and-so. I wouldn't bring that up if I was you, because we got photographs of you with a 14-year-old girl on Epstein's plane, for example. And you talk about shutting somebody up permanently, that's how they do it.
So the next time you say, why didn't they do that? I don't understand why they didn't do that. They got voted this way, this way, this way, and now they're doing that. Ding, ding, ding. Not many years ago, tunnel plans and blueprints were discovered, and they found a network of tunnels under the Playboy Mansion connected to nearly every house in the area. Producers, directors, all working together. Warren Beatty's mansion, Jack Nicholson's mansion, James Caan, Kirk Douglas. It was not too long ago that the CIA said no longer we're going to be involved in mainstream media. Just a couple of decades ago. It was now part of the CIA charter. You can't be involved in mainstream media anymore. They put forth statements. They said that that's it. We're not. Then along comes your friend and mine, Barack Hussein Obama. Before he left office, watch what he did. Watch this.
But in 2016, Obama, there's a provision in the CIA charter that says that the CIA cannot propagandize the American people. President Obama adopted and I think it was through an executive order in 2016, that essentially reopened the door for Operation Mockingbird, so that the CIA began once again to propagandize American people.
How are they doing that presently?
Well, I mean, we know that they did it. We've published articles on the CHD website that shows the journals that appear now where high-level intelligence officials are, or people associated with the intelligence industry, are running those journals, like Noah Schlackman, who runs Rolling Stone, who came from Daily Beast. Daily Beast was run by John Avalon, who has deep ties to the intelligence agencies. But even journals like Smithsonian and National Geographic, Nature, the Washington Post, the New York Times appear to be compromised by the CIA. We know from the Twitter files at both the FBI and CIA were operating portals within the Twitter and Facebook that allowed them to manipulate information and to deplatform people and to silence certain people that they didn't like in the social media.
Okay, Twitter deplatformed then President Trump in his first term. I was deplatformed with him. I was saying what I was saying now. And I've been doing that even though I wasn't on till middle of 2021. I was since 2015, and he came down that elevator. I had groups and everything all over the place, and Twitter. And I got deplatformed with him. Can you imagine at that time? Look how far we've come. It's very important. We're grateful for where we are now. Gratitude is a beautiful state of being grateful right now. And Twitter it's completely dissolved. It's completely gone. Most of the people that are on there that are all for, speaking against President Trump and against his cabinet are being paid to do that. They never respond to you. They're bots, and so I laugh because they have all these fake pictures and you can find them all over online. It's very interesting. But it was in the 1940s that the Office of Strategic Study were doing a study on using motion pictures as a weapon of psychological warfare. Now, this is Kevin Shipp. Now, Kevin Shipp was very high up, and he runs for his life, believe me, very high up in the Central Intelligence Agency, and ended up being a whistleblower. I'm considering having him on. Now, I'm going to write to him. I think I want to get an amen from God first, but I'm considering having him on. But listen to this. Very interesting.
This is The Big Picture, an official television report to the nation from the United States Army.
It was an OSS memo, the precursor to the CIA, where they were doing a study of the use of motion pictures in America as a means of psychological warfare. So it goes all the way back to pre-1947, when U.S. intelligence was using motion pictures to alter the thinking of Americans in the United States.
The morale of our troops is high. The laughter, music, and general entertainment which comes out of a single small package like this one have helped to build that morale.
The CIA is funneling information into Hollywood. Hollywood is putting out in the movies, and the population believes.
Okay. And then the population believes. Now, for most of the people on that are watching me, and there's 900 now, and then another 50 on X, okay? And thousands that'll watch this after. They believe, a lot of them, that they know who's who. They know, that people are going to be shocked, like the people on the left. Wait till they find out, they're going to be shocked. And, and when they hear about this star, that star, and this, and all these things, they're going to be shocked. But what we don't realize is that within our own community that we consider our own, and you believe them, we're going to be shocked. Do you know sometimes I could have proof that a person is telling a lie? And if you're dealing with the level of cognitive dissonance about that person, you won't even hear me. I could say I've got legitimate proof. So I get this question. God, I must get this question 1,000 times a year. Now, I'm not exaggerating. 1,000 times a year. How can you tell? Because people know I will not, unless I'm told to, and I have revealed a couple of names in the past, but unless I'm told to, I'm not going to reveal anything. I'm not going to cause disunity. I'm not going to create people to be not at peace. I'm not going to do it. It's not my job. So, but how can you tell? How can you tell people in the government or in the church that have ministries, in Congress? How can you tell? Well, the biggest way for me, and this isn't foolproof, okay? Sometimes you can find them. But the biggest way for me is when someone seemingly comes out of nowhere and immediately has hundreds of thousands of followers. It's not organic, okay? People that have been following me saw when I had 10 and 1,000. I was on YouTube, then 5,000. They've seen me. You go back, the church I worked at. You can find me. You find, my kids, my kids, we do gatherings. You see me. I'm real. When you cannot find, when you're like stopped and you can't, like, where was that person before 2014? Where was that person before 2015? Were they really doing, what happened? What happened? Where'd they come from? Well, I was this, I was that, I was, this and that. That's how you can tell. Now, not all of this isn't 100% always. But if I'm going to have to give you an answer, that's my answer. I've never seen a real person who is real go from 0 to 100,000 subscribers in 3 months. I've never seen it. I've never seen it with real people. So that's how you can tell. But let's continue. I want to talk about psychological warfare of the CIA, which is, a lot of this, a lot of you know this is being used all the time. But I told you I'd go back to Ian Fleming, the author of the James Bond books that were made into movies. He really wasn't the author. He was a co-author. So wait till you hear who the other author was.
Most of the mainstream media, they're telling you right here that motion pictures are used as psychological warfare. Why would they stop doing it?
At no time has the CIA engaged in any political activity or any intelligence activity that was not approved at the highest level.
Alan Dulles groomed and recruited Ian Fleming, and Dulles and the CIA actually helped Fleming write his books and paint the CIA in a favorable light. And Dulles helped produce Thunderball to make the CIA and agents look like honorable, cool people. The CIA actually helped him write the books and write the script for that movie. And then the president of MPAA was actually providing intelligence to the CIA as an operative in that position in Hollywood.
It goes so deep that when you get to the bottom of this rabbit hole, there's a rabbit hole. So the CIA said they no longer are going to do their dastardly deeds. And then Obama gave them free rein again. What happened in the decades in between? This little short clip just about says it all. And it's one of my faves, Poppy Bush.
George H.W. Bush came out and finally made the statement about Mockingbird. Well, we're going to officially stop the Mockingbird program. The CIA will no longer pay journalists to write stories. From now on, the program is voluntary, which means Mockingbird continues today.
It's voluntary. Oh, that changes everything. Oh, thank you, Poppy Bush, for doing that and being such an outstanding and upstanding citizen. It'll be voluntary. Okay. So a big network studio says, oh, I'm willing to do this voluntarily. Then it's okay. It's amazing to me. It's amazing. You know what's amazing to me is that people actually believe these things are all on the up and up. Like movies are really real. What they have to realize is that most of them are not fiction, but documentaries. If you can get that switch in your brain, you're all set. But let me ask you all a question. Does mainstream media really do what they're told? Do they? Or is this all just a figment of my imagination? Watch this.
Got to be much more careful about it.
Platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Okay, so here's how it works, okay? Something happens. Let's take President Trump. He comes up with something and it's really, people are loving it. He's feeling like, he's really, people are he's becoming more popular. This thing worked, whatever he was doing, like the Doge 5,000. That the minute that happens and people put 5,000 in their wallet and in their bank account, be ready, because right there, the second he said it's passed, we're going to do it, that's when CIA starts, revs up. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Well, this is what we do. All right, say this, goes out to Associated Press. The AP gets it. AP then sends it out across the world to everyone, so everyone is saying the same thing. Like those people. This is really a threat to our democracy. This is really a threat to our democracy. There is no longer a free press. There is no longer independent thinking. These people are talking heads. That's all they are. They're a head and they're going like this. There's nothing there. Okay. So, with TV, it's like, it's shocking with all these clips everywhere that people do not believe this. With household names like Ben Affleck saying, oh, actors are CIA agents all over Hollywood. What, are you a CIA agent? Yes, I am a CIA agent. Oh, and the thing is they don't realize that's karmic retribution. Where they live, being a Luciferian, they have to admit it publicly. That's how they get away with this. That's what they believe. So, but everybody's like, if you showed that to anyone, oh, he's just kidding. I remember Bill Gates. It was 2002 or 2003. I used to watch TED Talks for this very reason. I was awake then. Believe me. I got more fights in pastors' meetings than you could believe. So I was there. I knew then. I remember Bill Gates came out in TED Talks and he said about depopulating, and that we have to depopulate. We're not gonna have enough food. We're not gonna have enough oxygen. Not gonna have enough air. Well, how do you depopulate? Well, you have to do you have to do this. You have to do that, and then he said, and you have to do a really good job with vaccines, new vaccines. And I sent it to people, and I said, do you hear what he's saying? 99.9% of the people that heard that said, no, he was explaining that this is why there is so much population, because we've done such a good job with vaccines. That was then. People just don't get it. They don't get it. So, mainstream media, film and TV industry, Hollywood, CIA, all in bed together. Shocking. It's shocking that people still don't believe it. With TV stars saying it, they still don't believe it. So, here's where my disclaimer here. You have to be careful not to point a finger. Because when the big reveal happens, you might be mourning one of your favorite people. You just don't know. Operation Mockingbird never ended. Now watch how Colbert cuts off Claire Danes right near the end, before she can discuss how the media works with the CIA and the Pentagon and has supervised 400 plus Hollywood movies and worked behind the scenes. And she was on a Homeland. It was a big TV show about espionage. I never watched it. And then she says how CIA aligns itself and fills in journalists, and she gets cut off by Colbert. Watch this.
Mel, who was one of our founding fathers of Homeland, one of our writers, passed away a number of years ago, but his dad was in the CIA, and his cousin was a mentee of his father's and was also in the CIA, a very accomplished person there. And he recently retired, but in his retirement, he curates this week-long spy camp for us producers and writers. And
really?
Yeah.
Is it like, you
know?
know?
So we park ourselves in a club in Georgetown and talk to, like, real spooks. And, you know, people in the intelligence community and the State Department and journalists and people who really...
What do they tell you that, like, what's the most surprising thing that they've told you about their jobs or something you would need to know from
Well, every year it's different, right? We've been at
Okay.
it for a while, and the climate has changed. But this year it was all about, you know, the distrust between the administration and the intelligence world, and the intelligence community was suddenly kind of allying itself with journalists, which
But wait a
usually
second,
they're
how long
not
ago did you
such
start
good
shooting
friends.
this season?
You like the way he cut her off and start aligning themselves with journalists? So how many have you take? Why? Because Colbert's in it. I don't know. I don't know. People are naive. People are naive. Either they're naive or they just can't handle it. You know, it's cognitive dissonance. They just can't handle it. I don't know. But I could be here all day. I could go on and on and on. I had about 150 clips. I am not exaggerating. I spent most of my day yesterday going through clips upon clips upon clips that I've had for decades. And I don't even know if they're still out there. But I had to play this at the end. Now I'm going to say why I had to play it. I've had a couple people, when we talk about the CIA, JFK comes up and he says, his real quote was, I'm going to splinter the CIA and cast it to the wind. Within a year, he was assassinated. He really wasn't. Some of the things he did in the civil rights and all that during that time, he leaned Democrat, definitely. But he did some things that today, if it was done, I probably wouldn't agree with because it was way back then. But he really fought against wars. He fought against the CIA. He hated anything that was secret. He hated the secret societies. He felt if they were secret, they were nefarious. He was way ahead of his time. And this is a clip, and I'm going to end with this, that is JFK, and you can feel the God-given authority today from what, 40, 50 years ago this happened. It's amazing. Watch this.
Uncle John F. Kennedy expressed desire to, quote, splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter it into the winds, unquote.
Change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath our forebears prescribed nearly a century and 3/4 ago. The world is very different now, for man holds in his mortal hands the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life. And yet the same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought are still at issue around the globe. The belief that the rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from the hand of God. We dare not forget today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world. let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
To ensure the survival and success of liberty. He's not known as a president that wants liberty at all costs. He lost his life for wanting liberty. He lost his life for refusing. They actually tricked him and said that there was war going on in Cuba and Americans were being killed. And they tricked him, and he found out about it. At that point, he knew things weren't going to end well for him. My gut feeling about, and I know people are asking me about this all the time, I really believe we need to push to get the JFK files released. My gut feeling is that the reason they're not released is because there is something in there that has directly affects us today that might put people in harm's way if it comes out. Has to be that. There's no other reason, because President Trump is taking a hit for not following the timeline he said he was going to. And what I find interesting is that RFK Jr., the one he made the promise to, is not after him for it. He's not saying, where is it? Melissa Wixom, absolutely, because somebody is still alive. Now, my feeling, Melissa, is that somebody that is still alive could be part of the solution. If it was someone that wasn't part of the solution, then I believe that it would have been released. RFK, it hasn't been released. MLK hasn't been released. I believe it will be in time. I think that someone will eventually, what'll happen is they'll make a deal, something will happen, they'll be able to do it. I don't know, maybe that one name will be redacted. I don't know. But I do know there's a reason. I saw Kevin Shipp say something, and I don't have the video, I'm sorry, but he said, everyone wants to know everything. And all I can say is, no, you don't. That said it all to me. He said, no, you don't want to know everything. I've seen enough in my lifetime. Doctors doing things should have been held accountable for, dark web stuff I wish I never saw. I've heard enough, I've seen enough. You work with a prophet, someone like Prophet Kim, for a decade. You hear what's, before it even happens, what's going to happen. So just pray. And it's all I can say about the JFK files. I want to see them. We know what happened. We know it was our government was involved, just like 9/11. Now, I don't know if it was, they're the ones that pulled the gun and shot the gun. Or guns. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But I know that it was not, 9/11 didn't get in the airspace over New York City, those planes, without someone saying, stand down. So, no, No, he's not. Tomasco's Kevin Shipp is not dead. No. From what I know, I don't know. Do you know he's dead? I didn't know. I wish someone would tell me because I don't believe he is. No. I know they were after him, but I don't know. So look, it's getting late. I'll take one or two questions. Someone said, I think it was Aqua Girl, that said about AOC, about her not being the same person. Now, I don't prescribe to that normally. I don't believe not everybody's 2.0 new person. They all wear masks. This one, they're all alive. I don't. I'm too pragmatic for that. I've learned too much. I know too much. But when she said that about AOC, I do believe that about her. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I know when AOC came first on the forefront, I know when I was praying, I felt that she was not who she was portrayed to be. And she was one of us and she was going to turn. I don't know how many of you remember that. Then she was different. And I don't normally believe that stuff, but I do believe it about her. So Aqua girl, I actually agree with you, my friend. Nick Alviar, a filmmaker, Hula for Gigi. He produced a lot of films. He also got arrested during the J6 chaos. I don't know the man. I'd like to meet him personally. I hear this and that, and I don't prescribe anything. I know he has some good documentaries, but that's all I know. Blessed PJM. I do you remember a prophecy by Kim that talks about what you're talking about now? He said something about them coming at us in movie theaters. I don't recall it. I'm sorry. I don't recall it. Things that, so you understand, and I probably should have said this earlier in my life. I opened Kim's meetings. Kim and I and Dennis were friends since 1993. I'm the one that got him to come and minister the first time at the church we were on staff at in New York. We were the ones that were his hosts. And so, along with another pastor. So when we met up in Hollywood and didn't know both of us were there, Kim immediately, he would have loved to probably have me work for him 10 years prior. He always said that. And so when I opened Kim's meetings. When you were there and you sat there, I was the one that was there. We talked about what the prophetic was, what he was going to do, different things like that. I was the floor director. So if I stood up, everybody would stand up. If I, so I had to be very careful what I did. If I clapped, I was kind of like the person amongst the people that held it all together. So why am I telling you that? Because when I was there, blessed PGM, and he was not in Paris or Australia, I knew every word, and most of the words that came out during that time was during the Den on Saturdays. And we were right there in the front row, a lot of clips, you'll see us there. And I remember those things that came from there, because I would go in the back after, and Dennis and I would hang out with him and his wife, Jane, and we'd have a little bit of food or whatever. And I would question him because I was so intrigued by it all. I love the prophetic. So I don't remember that. So blessed PGM, if that is true, it probably is from when he was away and I just wasn't there, or I never saw a video of it. But if you find it, email it to me. I'd be interested. R Butler 503. Why do so many people believe people have been replaced or they're in a mask? There's a bad episode of Scooby-Doo. Is that part of CIA games? I think why, R Butler, it happened mostly because of Biden coming into office in 2020 because he looked completely different than he did in 2019. I mean, completely different. If you're not aware, go look at what he looked like in 2017, 18, 19. You got to be careful because that's when things changed. Go look and then look at him. He's a completely different person. So I think what happened, Rachel, is that when that happened and everybody was very aware, this is at least anybody who was awake, they then looked at it and said, well, this one, well, that one, well, this one, well, that one. And soon everybody's wearing a mask. Those that were dead are alive. Those that are alive are died. And it's not true. It's not true. Is it true for some? 100%. Is it true for all? No, it's not. It's not. Let's see. Yeah. Hula for Gigi. Yeah. Whatever happened to Joe M., the other red pillar of 2020? Yeah, he was the one that first posted the plan. I think he was part of this. I think it was part of behind the scenes, the whole thing. For all I know, he could be Dan Scavino. I don't know. I don't know who it was, but it was someone that I greatly admired, greatly respected. I remember him well. Queen Esther, is it possible that the release of the JFK files has to do with the Israeli government? Oh, possible? I would change, is it probable? Yeah, I do believe. The CIA, the Mossad, the Mossad is the Israeli CIA. Wow. Yeah. Yes. Okay. It's after Renee Marie. One more. Why do you think Pam Bondi is not releasing the e-files? I think Pam Bondi will give her resignation before the e-files are released. Not prophesying, just a thought. Okay, that's it. Oh, thank you, Hula for Gigi. Thank you for your offering. Hugs back to you, my friend. Anyway, tonight it is going to be awesome. Fab 4, 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. On X and on Rumble, and it's going to be a good time. Let's keep revealing. It's called Revealing More. It continues. If you want to go to the national gathering, July 4th and 5th in the center of the country, go to our website, The Gathering Movement. Let's see if I got it in a banner. Let's see what I got. See if I can put it up. Here we go. thegatheringmovement.org. When you go there, you'll see on the top, it says the National Gathering or gathering tickets, something like that. And you click that and it'll bring you to a page. You click the flyer and you go to get your tickets and do it soon. I would do it very soon because I don't know if we're going to have tickets if you get closer. Anyway, so that's that. Also, help us out with, here's the tea, joincountry.com. This is Trust in the Lord crew neck tea. It's beautiful. It's watercolors, literally watercolors. This is exclusive, guys. This is a creation by my daughter. She's so creative. I bought paints. I paint. I'm going to paint again. And so Jenna's, I'm going to buy her an easel. She can come over and paint with me because this is her. Also the bracelet at the cross. Look at this. Look at the crosses at the extender is crosses. And these are all crystals. They look like amethyst and diamonds. And this is the matching earrings, all in the description. And then God's Got This 20-inch skinny tumbler, and all stainless steel, comes in several color combinations. This stuff is major. This is not, some of them, like the bigger ones, they'll hold hot or cold for like 12 hours. I mean, the really good stuff. They're handmade. It's not like junk. and it's all real, like copper. It's, premium copper. Anyway, Saturday Steel's going on now. If you want to help us out, go to the description. You get this. You get the, you know what? I'm not going to show it, but go look for Trust in the Lord watercolor tie-dye tee. Go look for that. Wait till you see that. So I'm not going to put it up now, but the Tumblr, everything, description below. In the description, you'll get all the links, or go to joincountry.com. Look for them there. Go to Delora's Closet. They'll be there as well. Now until tomorrow night at midnight, 10% off with the code Saturday. Okay? Everything, even the stuff that's on sale, even everything. And remember, on top of that, these things are heavy. Free shipping. So you don't have to pay shipping. You go, you just get out of there. You buy it and you get out. We pay for the shipping. Okay. That is the show for today. See you tonight on Fab 4. Get your tickets at thegatheringmovement.org. I can't wait to see you, all you guys. I can't wait to see everybody in the chat area. It's going to be an awesome time. Do everything you can to get there. I promise you, it is going to be epic. Love you all. See you tonight for part 2, Double Decker Delora Day. Remember, go in the power of God. Have a great afternoon. Ciao.